Good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar entitled AI Object Detection from Anywhere. I'd like to thank you all for being here. Before we get started, just a quick note on a couple of logistics. We will be using the Q&A tool if you have questions. So please feel free to submit your questions at any time using the Q&A tool at the bottom of the screen. And we have somebody that's sitting in the background who will be answering as many questions as possible. If we do not get to your question, somebody will follow up with you afterwards. So thank you very much for that. And there are occasionally slides where there is some more information that will be provided through a link in the chat. So if you see that little chat link icon, note that there is a little bit of extra information for you. So with that, let's jump in. And I would just like to do a quick introduction of today's presenters. So my name is Marcus Scholler. I am the VP of Marketing at Haivision, and I'm joined today by Brent Bergen, who's Director of Business Development with Shield AI, John Leeper, who is our Principal Solutions Architect at Haivision, and Philip Mashkowicz, the Product Marketing Manager from Haivision. So we'll get to each of you guys momentarily. Let me just go over the agenda for the session today quickly. We'll do a quick overview of Haivision for those of you who do not know about us and our mission-critical video solutions. Then we'll jump in and talk to you more specifically about Kraken. Then you'll hear from Brent about Shield AI. We'll talk to you about some work that we've been doing in a collaboration together, bringing the Sentient Tracker from Shield AI and Kraken together. And we will give you a live demonstration of all of this working together. So with that, let's jump right in. And I'll start with a little bit about Haivision for those of you who are not familiar with who we are. So Haivision is a company that provides live video solutions for the broadcast and media space, and more importantly for today's session, mission-critical video solutions that are used in intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, also known as ISR, for video distribution within an organization or between organizations when transporting video from one place to many, and for operation and command centers with our video wall solutions. These are the type of use cases that we're known for in terms of who we sell to, especially in terms of the mission-critical video solutions. We have customers in aerospace, in defense, including the DoD and the US Navy, enterprise, many different types of organizations, from banking to technology companies, logistics companies, much more. And of course, public safety. For instance, our solutions are used across police departments in the United States. To give you an example of some of the types of customers that we sell our mission-critical solutions for, ultimately to enable real-time situational awareness and informed decision-making. In terms of the reasons why customers come to Haivision, it's very important that we are providing live, high-quality video, even in situations where bandwidth is not always optimal. Perhaps networks have very low bandwidth or even unpredictable or volatile performance. The performance of our solutions is critical, and one of the key things about Haivision is the latency and the ultra-low latency. In fact, given the nature of the work that many of our customers are doing, seeing the video in the lowest latency possible is very, very important. Reliability, of course, is also critical, and we see our solutions being used in environments that can be pretty harsh at times, or even in situations where they're set up in a set and forget mode, and really they just need to work all the time. And security, of course, is always a big thing, and people come to us not only because of the security of our streams, but the security in terms of how access is enabled to our solutions, or even in terms of the devices themselves and the security around them. So those are just a quick high-level overview of some of the key reasons that people choose Haivision. Certifications are another very important reason, and I would like to call out a few things in particular. For instance, some of our environmental certifications like MIL Standard 810 or DO 160. More specifically today, I want to highlight the fact that we are DOTA and APL certified, which includes an authorization to operate with DISA and an interop certification with JITC. And I think it's also worth mentioning the fact that we work Our products work with the MISB standards and the STANAG standards for motion imagery. and geospatial metadata, because in our customers' ISR workflows, of course, full motion video and KLV metadata are critical for situational awareness and intelligent decision-making, which is really what our solutions are used for. So that's a quick overview about some of the certifications. Just in terms of products, there are a lot of different things that are part of our product portfolio. We're known for video contribution, video distribution, video management, and visualization. In terms of contribution, the Makito family of encoders, probably what many of you have already heard about. They're available in a number of different sizes, form factors, power consumption, different types of physical interfaces, and even ruggedized variants. We've introduced recently a full range of cellular transmitters, in other words, devices that encode video and send them over cell phone cellular networks. Video distribution, a very important area, especially when you need to transport video between one or many locations. That might require protocol flipping or transcoding, and Kraken is a critical product in that workflow, and we'll be spending a lot more time today talking specifically about Kraken. And then in terms of video management and visualization, there are a number of solutions. A Haivision Media Platform, for instance, for getting live video distributed through an organization, or IPTV, for instance. Haivision Command 360 is our video wall solution for operation in command centers, and you'll actually see a little bit of Play ISR, free desktop low latency video player, as part of the demonstration a little later today. So that's a quick overview of who Haivision is, who our customers are, why they come to us, and what our products are. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Philip, and we'll start talking about Kraken. And really, just to set this up, I want to establish with everybody that back in September, we introduced or announced that we had a collaboration between Haivision and Shield AI to take the Sentient Tracker, a product used for AI object detection, and make it work alongside Kraken, our real-time video processing and transcoding platform. And so before we get into the actual collaboration, Philip will tell you more about Kraken. So Philip, all yours.
Thank you, Marcus. Hi, everyone. My name is Philip Mashkevich, and again, I'm a product marketing manager here at Haivision. Kraken is a real-time video processor and transcoder for mission-critical applications, and it's designed to keep latency as low as possible for a wide variety of incoming streams. Kraken also supports the processing of critical KLV metadata alongside the video, either filtering out very verbose streams of KLV that may be consuming a lot of bandwidth, or being able to enrich streams with more security information, such as what the classification level of a particular stream is. Kraken has a long-standing history with Haivision, actually almost 14 years now, and over that time, it's handled just about every kind of video imaginable, along with nearly every challenge a stream could face. This extensive experience has made Kraken incredibly resilient, capable of handling network abnormalities like packet loss, out-of-order packets, and even malformed or poorly encoded content. And really, the best part is that Kraken's reliability allows it to simply fade into the background, quietly doing its job so you can focus entirely on the mission at hand. Kraken is not just used for being able to flip from one codec to another, but also it's able to go from one protocol to another. So for example, a stream coming in on an RTP and going out on a UDP, or coming in on an SRT and going out on a UDP. You can flip and route streams within it too. And Kraken can do this in a flexible packaging, so it doesn't necessarily have to be just on our own Haivision appliances. So that can be whether that's on our servers or edge devices, but also cloud and virtualized devices as well. It can do all of this while ensuring that the video remains standards compliant and interoperable. So in summary, Kraken can ingest any stream and condition it for processing, and then package it for downstream interoperability. It handles the network streaming piece so that people can focus on enriching their data at the edge or on their servers without having to really worry about video interoperability, and makes it easier for people to move video around as they need in their networks. Now, I'll pass it on to John Leeper to speak about Kraken in more detail.
Yeah, thanks, Philip. And part of my role at Haivision, other than being a solutions architect, is being the product owner for the Kraken product line as well as the PlayISR product line. So something as part of this integration, this close collaboration that we've had with Shield and the folks out in Australia, is to augment our media processing pipeline. To support inputs, we traditionally would support inputs, transcoders, and outputs. So from an input, we can take any source, adapt, SDI, NDI, different types of physical or network-based inputs. We can route them to any type of output to be interoperable with downstream consumers over UDP, SRT, RTP. Pick your format and protocol that you're looking for. And in the middle, be able to use that battle-hardened, 14 years of experience of seeing malformed and dropped packet data to robustly transcode and adapt that video so that it is able to be seamlessly delivered to that downstream endpoint. So as part of this, our evolution of Kraken, we've now added the ability to do processing inline. So here, we're now able to leverage our best input front ends to capitalize on the battle hardenness of our front end decoder to be able to produce a nice clean stream to the best of breed algorithms like Shield AI to be able to process that imagery and enrich the streams at the edge or the data center wherever Kraken can run. This pattern, this media processing Kraken pipeline can now enrich your streams with salient data in any type of workflow. So and now let's talk about what specifically is this Shield algorithm that we've been able to bring in. And Brent, if you wouldn't mind giving a bit of an overview.
Sure, sounds good. Thanks, John. Yeah, I'm Brent Bergen from Shield AI Business Development. We came over with the acquisition from Sentient Vision Systems, and we've focused on autonomous AI processing of video streams since about 2009, focusing on small target detection. And we've really, our first product was Kestrel. Next slide, please. And then Kestrel, we evolved to VIDAR. So following the acquisition, we became part of Shield AI and the Vision Systems. And I'm really happy to be with Shield AI. I think it was a really natural fit for where Sentient Visions came. And with the Singh brothers, when they founded Shield AI, they had one focus: AI for maneuver, autonomy, and all. And our mission was to protect service members and civilians with intelligent systems. And so hopefully with our systems will be part of that mission system, our mission set that is the sole focus of Shield AI. And I think we really bring a lot of value to what the Kraken and Haivision products can offer. Next slide, please. So we've been developing these analytics since 2009. We installed our first AI analytic in support of the Australian Defence Forces in 2009, and we really produced that AI-enabled moving target indicator, locating small target detection. Next slide, please. So I'm going to talk about Kestrel, where we started, and then we developed last year Sentient Tracker, where we brought in our deep learning capabilities, and we have also developed VIDAR, which is a multi-camera capability for wide area motion imagery solutions for maritime and multi-domain operations. But we're just going to focus on Sentient Tracker and Kestrel today. Next slide, please. So here's kind of an overview of what Sentient Tracker can do. We're completely camera or EOIR system agnostic, and it's a software insertion that can be processed with any camera at the edge, inside the gimbal itself, or anywhere along the video pipeline, which is why it works so well with the Kraken software and Haivision, is that they can process at the edge, at the GCS, or now even in the cloud as well. And we work as well, for that small target detection, on any band, either it's a EO, SWIR, MWIR, or LWIR. Next slide, please. So you can see here where that arrow is, you're going to see a target move across that building. And when I say small target detection, that's 2 by 2 pixels in size that we can make that detection. And that makes an enormous difference for the operator to be able to expand that field of view by about 20x. And, talking to a lot of the operators here at Shield AI from the FSRs that operate the gimbals for a long period of times, having an AI enhancement like this is a huge benefit to the end operator and user. Next slide, please. So one of the huge benefits as well is that we also work in the maritime environment and up to a sea state 6. So 10-foot seas and 25-knot winds will process that information, and Sentient Tracker will basically remove the water and put a box around anything that isn't water to help identify where the targets are, really expanding that field of view. Next slide, please. So here's an example here where one of our clients actually threw a life jacket in the water and said, go find it with a camera. And in the maritime environment, finding anything in this nature is incredibly difficult, even with a human eye, even more difficult with a camera. So if you have an AI analytic like this, it's really beneficial to enhance the capabilities of the end user. So here's an example here where we're able to make a detection at 6 miles in a fairly choppy sea state. I believe the altitude is from about 3,000 feet. And that's what our AI is able to do. Process that feed and puts a box around the target that you need to find. And then here's an example on the infrared side. This is a dated video, but this just shows you how good our algorithm is. We did a recent integration where we integrated Sentient Tracker on an 8-inch gimbal, and we picked up a 14-foot sail vessel at 40 plus kilometers, which is really difficult to do. So it's a real enabler for maritime and also in the land domain. Next slide. So this is our enhancement where we took our VIDAR analytics and we took our deep learning process and upgraded Kestrel to Sentient Tracker. So what we did, we recognized that there's some false detection issues and some persistent challenges with the location of that box. So we're able to replicate the positional accuracy for every single target using that KLV data from the gimbal itself, and we can actually transmit that information throughout the connected network. So now with the deep learning, we taught the system what these false detections look like and remove them as the actual solution. So now it's a much improved system and capability for the end user to be able to utilize our analytics with any system out there. And then here in this example, we basically enable the ability to take that target number 5, click on it, and send that through the TAC network or WinTAC to go straight from video to the network without carrying the video itself. So it's a very low bandwidth ability to transmit that information and immediately notify the network of where that target is, and if there's for situational awareness enhancement and really improved capability for joint operations. And then next slide. I think that's pretty much it, right? I think, Marcus.
Yeah, that's it. Well, thank you very much for walking us through that overview of Shield AI and the incredible technology that you guys have. And I think, John, you're back, right, to talk more about the collaboration.
Yeah, and I think from what Brent showcased, there's a lot of value in the algorithm and being able to help enrich and make more informed decision making as the video makes its way or the resultant data makes its way to end users. So that common operating picture of using TAC, WinTAC, ATAC, ITAC as your way to visualize these things is part of where we want to be. We want to be able to integrate this into your networks so that you can generate these enriched streams, and then we fade into the background. Like you get the data that you need to, and you can go on and continue your job. So as part of our integration here, we're looking at more typically this airborne ISR video, so captured with gimbaled sensors or turrets. That video can be passed in either raw over SDI with KLV metadata in that interface, or as a network stream into a Kraken instance running the Sentient Tracker processor. And I'll get into what that looks like in a demo in just a moment. As that integration has happened, the output that we do is video, either with or without tracker boxes on it, as you'd like to see them, but also metadata. We're using the video moving target indicator metadata standard from the MISB to be able to share an interoperable representation of the target detections and their latitude longitudes to downstream users. This then now compliant stream can be consumed and further disseminated as you would any other ISR stream, except this has that magic of the shield algorithm, this sentient tracker algorithm producing these great tracks. With that, let's jump into a little bit of a demo here. We'll see. Here, this is the Kraken UI. As you move in and you're greeted in Kraken, you first end up logging in. Type your username and password on this system that I have here in my lab. It's running on a Kraken Edge, a small device. I have 6 streams running, and you're greeted with a dashboard. Here you're able to see the streams that are running, their state, whether or not how much network is being consumed. We can go and look at some of the detailed statistics of the different streams that we have running on the box, and gain more insight from a quick glance of like, well, are my streams doing what I want? Kraken operates on the concept of streams. So here you can see some existing configured streams that I have in an operational state. But a stream is constructed of an input, an output, a transcoder, and now the new thing, the processor. Let's start off in looking at inputs real quickly. As you want to add a new input, you have your choice of different source protocols, whether or not it's transfer stream over UDP or SRT, RTP. Similarly for outputs, we have the ability to bridge gaps on the other ends to different network types, and also network interfaces. This edge device has the ability to go in and out of 2 networks. Also, we have the ability to configure a transcoder, so being able to use a software-based codec, a hardware-based codec, include or exclude KLV metadata into the stream if we want to edit or adjust the metadata that's coming from the stream. We can make a new transcoder profile to use within a stream. But the new thing here is processors. So let's create a new processor, selecting an installed module that we have right now of the Sentient Tracker. So this is our version 1.060 version of the Sentient Tracker. And let's do one for the search and rescue examples. So here you have the choice of different algorithms. You see I selected the SAR. And you can also set the sensitivity of the analytic and the rectangular box search area within the image to view within the active image. As you want to mark up and enrich the image, let's turn off detection boxes and turn off the labels that we want, but keep the VMTI metadata coming downstream. So we have clean video, but enriched metadata in this. Now we have this new tracker processor that we can use. So back in the streams page, we can add a new stream, and this is where you're able to string those inputs, outputs, and transcoders together. So let's call this my new SAR stream. Let's use an existing input from Kraken that we already have. Let's use that new search and rescue processor. Let's use the transcoder profile that I mentioned, and then also select, let's use outputs 14 and 15. Just as a way to show that this is the plumbing that you're doing for your video. So great. Now I have this created and run. I can now choose to run this or not. As you notice here, I already have 2 analytics running with the tracker land and the tracker maritime. So this here you see the tracker land at the 05 stream, and the 06 is the maritime one. Let's take a look at those using Play ISR. So I've already created a set list in PlayISR to view these outputs. So the Kraken 05 out is the land analytic, and you'll see in here that we are This is the similar video that Brent showed earlier, but we're drawing our own boxes in real time on top of the detections that are in there. So while we're showing visually that these detections are there, that is also present in the metadata that we're producing. So let's also look at the maritime example. So here you can see there's a sea state, but let's do a little bit of tuning with it too. I'm not really getting too many detections. You can see a little bit of parallax there from the antenna flying by the image. So let's change this to use to up the detection. So 15. Well, that's too many, right? Like, so we have too many detections. This is not necessarily something that's going to be helpful for anybody in finding anything. So let's tune this in real time from the Kraken side and see the impact on the player. So now we start to see that we got our dot. We got our detection, and then zooming in again, we can see that we get that detection again. And again, we find that thing that's on top of water after it stabilizes for a second. So all of this this ability to tune the analytic makes it so that you can adjust to the sense phenomenon that you have in your video source. So this is something similar to what Shield offers in their Kestrel GUI application to be able to dynamically change some of these sliders in real time. We're exposing some of those in the Kraken instance. So you can put that analytic anywhere within your video dissemination chain and obtain these similar results. So let's go back and see that land analytic a little bit. Yeah, and that basically showcases the outcome of this integration. So one last note, as touching on this, like, well, AI from anywhere, what does that really mean? Well, so Kraken, we can really kind of install it and put it anywhere, whether or not that's in the virtual machines being able to run within your own on-prem infrastructure, or within the cloud, gives you that ability to process using the Kestrel algorithm anywhere. So the virtual machines, the Kraken Edge, this piece of hardware is what I'm using in my lab to show you that demo that we just went through. And then also Kraken servers being able to run this virtually anywhere now. So you're not necessarily constrained to your airborne platform. You're not constrained to just being in your GCS. Anywhere that you can obtain these feeds that are produced from live video, you can now start to process and enrich that to deliver things to those end users that really want and need this information to make smarter decisions.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for walking us through the new stuff in Kraken, and especially giving us that overview demo, which showcases how Kraken and Shield AI Sentient Tracker are working together. That was really cool. Another thing that was really cool was that part of your demo, you kind of mentioned it, Play ISR, but maybe people aren't too familiar with what it is. If you remember back to when we first introduced the collaboration, we were talking about the sensor and sending video into Kraken, and Kraken running the Sentient Tracker algorithm. The processor was creating the video, the transcode, and also the metadata. And then it was going into our desktop player, which is Play ISR. So with that, I think it would be worth Philip giving everybody a little glimpse into what Play ISR is all about, because it is free and available online, and people may very well be interested in using it. So Philip, why don't you tell us about Play ISR more?
Yeah. So any software decoder or display that could consume standards compliant video can show the output from the Sentient Tracker information. And just repeating again, what John used in that demo was Haivision Play ISR. And that's a free desktop player that we designed and launched at the end of last year, specifically for defense and ISR users. It was basically to give them something other than VLC that not only displays video, but displays it fast, as well as the metadata alongside it, while also providing some context about what the stream is doing. So with regard to the core capabilities of Play ISR, again, it's free to download and use. What was important for us is that we really wanted this to become the de facto player in ISR circles for people to use. And that builds on our commitment to high quality, security, and low latency. Play ISR is also it's designed to deliver low glass latency and gives users the ability to tune out what you want your latency behavior to be. So it can accommodate systems that can do low latency, such as if you have a Makito paired with it. This can offer you some of the best low latency playback of any desktop player. It supports SRT and UDP streams. It also provides insight into what streams are doing with streaming statistics. It is also standards compliant, so it can consume and display KLV metadata, such as in a MISB 1909 style overlay. And it's cross-platform. So anytime that we push a new release, it works in Windows, Linux, and Mac OS with an equal feature set, along with a consistent look and feel across any runtime environment that you may encounter. So, John, as the product manager for Play ISR, do you have anything more to add?
Yeah, one thing that you didn't note was security, and we are really security conscious about this player. You know, a lot of people when they're offered a free player, there has to be a catch, and like, no, we really want this out there. We're not doing anything that's going to phone home. We're building this to our best practices that we've implemented as part of our DISA APL certification, and so adhering to code practices to best ciphers and things of that nature. We're really mindful of the mission use case, and you know, we want to make this your player. And this player also we're building this for this community. We only can make this succeed through through user feedback. We thrive on user feedback on this to make this what the users need. So like this really results in us being able to add new capabilities that have real mission impact pretty quickly. Like recently we added support for multi-program transport streams for multi-sensor operations for Premier ISR systems. And you know, that was only through feedback from people that were actually using it. Similarly, a future visualization for the VMTI data will somewhat democratize the ability to see the VMTI tracks from the Shield algorithm. That's being generated from Kraken. So it helps really fill our mission ecosystem from the source from Kraken to the desktop consumer with Play ISR. So we really welcome your ability to play with this, give us feedback. You know, both me and Phil are behind the email that you see for feedback at for the player. So grab it. Phil, how do we grab it?
Yeah. So as we mentioned it several times already, Play ISR is a free application, right? And we made it easy to download, right? So first, you'll need to fill out a user form, which you can either find on our webpage, but we'll also share a link. You can find it in the chat. So we wanted to make it easy. Just a heads up while you're filling in the form, you'll need to provide a real email address to move on to the next step. Because that next step is once you've submitted the form, you'll receive a verification email. And all you really need to do within there is just click the link to access the download page. And the last step, you just you land on the download page. All you have to do is choose the version of Play ISR that's right for you. Whether that's Windows, Mac, or Linux, and you're ready to download and use Play ISR. And that's it. Well, I guess finally, I'll pass it back to Marcus to
as easy as that.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're at the wrap. I just want to bring up a quick poll here. So if you guys are interested in getting more information or would like to talk to sales about Kraken or anything else that we've been talking about, the Sentient Tracker as part of the webinar today, please just let us know here. For me, in terms of just wrapping up here, what I wanted to say is that the key takeaways, obviously, our work with Sentient, with Shield AI and Sentient Tracker, great example of innovation that comes through the use of through collaboration. This collaboration as also part of the latest release. So the latest release of Kraken brings the ability to use the processors. But like I said, talk to the sales team if you're interested in the AI object detection that can be enabled with the latest release of Kraken and the new processing capabilities. And of course, Play ISR, as John and Philip were talking about, is very important. That this is something that we made it for the ISR community. We really encourage you to use it and really get the most out of those workflows, as it's a way for you to share your streams with more people very easily and conveniently while maintaining the full motion video, as well as that very important KLV metadata. So whether it's with Kraken or Makito or other streams, these are all available. So you can, of course, reach out to us at sales@haivision.com or brent.bergen@shield.ai if you have questions or need more information. And with that, I would just like to thank everybody for joining us in today's webinar. John and Philip, my colleagues at Haivision, thank you for being here. And especially a big, big thank you to Brent Bergen from Shield AI for joining us in today's webinar. Thank you very much, Brent. And to everybody who attended today's webinar, thank you all for being here today.